Today is December 20th. Welcome to Big Book Daily. My name is Rob. I am an alcoholic. It is a thrill, honor, and joy to be here with you today as we journey through the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. Today out of the Big Book, we're going to continue our journey through Chapter 11, A Vision for You. We'll be reading page 154. At the 12 and 12, we're on Tradition 10. We'll read page 177, and we'll read the 24 hours a day and daily reflection. So with that, hope you all are doing well this morning, my friends. We've been given a brand new set of 24 hours. Whatever happened yesterday is over. All we need to focus on and control is what we can do today. That's pretty exciting. So with that, let's get to the good stuff. Chapter 11, A Vision for You, page 154. Bitterly discouraged, he found himself in a strange place, discredited and almost broke. Still physically weak and sober but a few months, he saw that his predicament was dangerous. He wanted so much to talk with somebody. But whom? One dismal afternoon, he paced a hotel lobby wondering how his bill was to be paid. At one end of the room stood a glass-covered directory of local churches. Down the lobby, a door opened into an attractive bar. He could see the gay crowd inside. In there, he'd find companionship and release. Unless he took some drinks, he might not have the courage to scrape an acquaintance and would have a lonely weekend. Of course, he couldn't drink, but why not sit hopefully at a table? A bottle of ginger ale before him. After all, had he not been sober 6 months now? Perhaps he could handle, say, 3 drinks, no more. Fear gripped him. He was on thin ice. Again, it was the old insidious insanity, that first drink. With a shiver, he turned away and walked down the lobby to the church directory. Music and gay chatter still floated to him from the bar. But what about his responsibilities, his family, and the men who would die because they would not know how to get well? Ah, yes, those other alcoholics. There must be many such in this town. He would phone a clergyman. His sanity returned, and he thanked God. Selecting a church at random from the directory, he stepped into a booth and lifted the receiver. Out of the 12 and 12 we're on Tradition 10. Alcoholics Anonymous has no opinion on outside issues. Hence, the AA name ought never be drawn into public controversy. Page 177. Let us re-emphasize that this reluctance to fight one another or anybody else is not counted as some special virtue which makes us feel superior to other people. Nor does it mean that the members of Alcoholics Anonymous, now restored as citizens of the world, are going to back away from their individual responsibilities to act as they see the right upon issues of our time. But when it comes to AA as a whole, that's quite a different matter. In this respect, we do not enter into public controversy, because we know that our society will perish if it does. We conceive the survival and spread of Alcoholics Anonymous to be something of far greater importance than the weight that we could collectively throw back of any other cause. Since recovery from alcoholism is life itself for us, it is imperative that we preserve in full strength our means of survival. Maybe this sounds as though the alcoholics in AA had suddenly gone peaceable, had become one great big happy family. Of course, this isn't so at all. Human beings that we are, we squabble. Before we leveled off a bit, AA looked like one prodigious squabble than anything else. At least on the surface. A corporation director who had just voted a company expenditure of $100,000 would appear at an AA business meeting and blow his top over an outlay of $25 worth of needed postage stamps. Disliking the attempt of some to manage a group, half its members might angrily rush off to form another group, more to their liking. Elders, temporarily turned Pharisee, have sulked. Bitter attacks have been directed against people suspected of mixed motives. Despite their din, our puny rose never did AA a particle of harm. They're just part and parcel of learning to work and live together. Let it be noted too, that they were almost always concerned with ways to make AA more effective, how to do the most good for the most alcoholics. "24 hours a day, December 20th. AA thought for the day. Our faith should control the whole of our life. We alcoholics were living a divided life. We had to find a way to make it whole. When we were drinking, our lives were made up of a lot of scattered and unrelated pieces. We must pick up our lives and put them together again. We do it by recovering faith in a divine principle in the universe that holds us together and holds the whole universe together and gives it meaning and purpose. We surrender our disorganized lives to that power. We get into harmony with the divine spirit, and our lives are made whole again. Is my life whole again?" Meditation for the day. Avoid fear as you would the plague. Even the smallest fear hacks at the cords of faith that bind you to God. However small the fraying, in time, those cords will wear thin, and then one disappointment or shock will make them snap. But for the little fears, the cords of faith would have held firm. Remember that fear can be a lack of trust in God. It is a denial of His care and protection. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may have such trust in God today that I will not fear anything too greatly. I pray that I may have the assurance that God will take care of me in the long run. Daily Reflection, December 20th. The rewards of giving. This is indeed the kind of giving that actually demands nothing. He does not expect his brother sufferer to pay him, or even to love him. And then he discovers that by the divine paradox of this kind of giving, he's found his own reward, whether his brother has yet received anything or not. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 109. Through experience with 12-step work, I came to understand the rewards of giving that demands nothing in return. At first, I expected recovery in others, but I soon learned that this did not happen. Once I acquired the humility to accept the fact that every 12-step call was not going to result in success, then I was open to receive the rewards of selfless giving. Alright, my friends, that concludes today's reading, and some great stuff as always. You know, I always go back to that big book and that whole scene where Bill W. is really rationalizing, like, oh, well, I've been sober 6 months. Well, I'll just go in there and have some ginger ale. You see that? At first he's thinking that. And then a thought goes, well, wait a minute. I've been sober for 6 months, and maybe I don't have an issue. Maybe just 3 drinks at the max, you know? But at least he had enough wherewithal to realize, wait a minute, I'm on thin ice here. And I can just imagine how many times in the past Bill listened to those thoughts and actually went in and had a drink. But for whatever reason, and I think I know why, something stops him. Instead, he prays and looks at a church director to see if he can do something else to help somebody else. And eventually, that obsession went away. It's pretty powerful stuff. So with that, my friends, that's all we have time for today. I hope you have a great one. And if we are given another set of 24 hours, I sincerely look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow.